According to 2013 USDA data, the bodybuilding gold standard, a 3-ounce grilled chicken breast with 21 to 26 grams of protein, is actually outperformed by a common fast food item. While meal preppers fixate on chicken, this budget-friendly alternative delivers nearly double the protein, with savvy buyers snagging 40 grams for under $2. This is not a hack. It is not a secret menu trick. It is not a protein powder disguised as food. It is a basic, publicly listed menu item. It is the McDouble from McDonald's. According to McDonald's published nutrition information in 2024, one McDouble contains 22 grams of protein. That is from 2 100% beef patties, 1 slice of American cheese, onions, pickles, ketchup, and mustard on a standard bun. The protein is primarily coming from the beef. A single McDouble weighs approximately 5.3 ounces total and delivers 400 calories. Now pay attention to the math. 2 McDoubles contain 44 grams of protein. That is more protein than a standard 6-ounce chicken breast, which typically provides about 42 grams when cooked, based on USDA Food Data Central values updated in 2023. And in many U.S. locations, a McDouble is priced between $1.79 and $2.29 depending on region and inflation adjustments. During promotional pricing or app-based deals, it frequently drops below $2. In select markets, buy one get one for $1 promotions have brought the per burger cost effectively under $1.50. The reason this is not advertised as a protein option is simple. The marketing does not target lifters. It targets convenience. McDonald's does not sell macros. It sells speed. But protein does not care about branding. Protein is chemistry. And 2 beef patties are 2 beef patties, whether they are plated on ceramic or wrapped in paper. Let us break down the numbers carefully. Each McDouble contains 2 1.6-ounce beef patties before cooking. McDonald's states their patties are made from 100% USDA-inspected beef with no fillers. According to USDA nutrient databases, contains approximately 7 grams of protein per cooked ounce, depending on fat ratio. When you multiply that across 2 patties, plus the cheese contribution, the 22-gram total checks out. Now compare cost per gram of protein. If a McDouble costs $1.99 and contains 22 grams of protein, that is roughly 9 cents per gram. 2 McDoubles at $3.98 provide 44 grams at the same ratio. If you catch a $1.79 price point, you are closer to 8 cents per gram. For context, many whey protein powders retail around $25 to $40 per 2-pound tub, delivering approximately 70 servings of 24 grams. That averages 10 to 12 cents per gram, depending on brand, according to retail pricing surveys conducted in 2024 across major supplement distributors. That means under certain pricing conditions, the McDouble competes directly with protein powder on cost efficiency. Now let us address quality. Beef protein is considered a complete protein. According to the National Academy of Medicine, a complete protein contains all 9 essential amino acids in sufficient proportions. Beef meets that requirement. It is rich in leucine, the amino acid most strongly associated with muscle protein synthesis. A 2015 review published in the Journal of Nutrition confirmed leucine's central role in stimulating mTOR pathways responsible for muscle growth. Beef provides roughly 1.7 to 2 grams of leucine per 3-ounce serving. 2 McDoubles provide well above that threshold. This is not theoretical, it is biochemistry. Now there is a reason you have not seen a billboard that says 44 grams of protein for under $4. Despite the efficiency, 2 McDoubles pack 34 grams of fat and 1,840 milligrams of sodium, nearly the American Heart Association's daily 2,300 milligrams limit. This high-protein, high-sodium reality is a direct result of the speedy service system pioneered by the McDonald brothers in 1948. Their industrial assembly line prioritized throughput, turning beef into a cheap, rapid-access commodity. Since Ray Kroc's 1955 expansion, McDonald's has optimized its massive, centralized supply chain. Even as U.S. beef consumption dropped from a 1976 peak of 94 pounds per capita to 57 pounds in 2023, production efficiency has surged. This infrastructure ensures you can access 22 grams of protein for pocket change in minutes, an efficiency rarely matched by other options, like grilled chicken sandwiches. A standard grilled chicken sandwich from McDonald's, based on archived nutrition data prior to menu shifts in 2020, delivered around 37 grams of protein but cost significantly more, often above $5 depending on region. Even when reintroduced in various forms, grilled options remain premium priced. The McDouble is not premium. It is positioned as entry level, and that is why it becomes interesting. Because for students, night shift workers, delivery drivers, and people who do not have kitchens, protein per dollar matters more than branding. According to a 2022 report by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average American household spends approximately 12.8% of its income on food. Lower-income households spend a higher percentage. When protein sources like steak average over $6 per pound and chicken breast averages between $3 and $5 per pound, depending on region, access becomes economic. Now consider this. 1 pound of 80% lean ground beef contains approximately 77 grams of protein according to USDA data. If ground beef costs $4.50 per pound in your region, that is roughly 5.8 cents per gram of protein before cooking loss. That is cheaper than the McDouble, but it requires a stove, time, refrigeration, and planning. The McDouble requires none of those. Accessibility changes the equation. Now let us talk about bioavailability. A 2017 paper published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition compared protein digestibility-corrected amino acid scores between animal and plant proteins. Beef scores high due to its complete amino acid profile and not digestibility, while plant proteins can absolutely meet needs. Gram-for-gram animal proteins often deliver higher bioavailable, essential amino acids per serving. That means those 44 grams from 2 McDoubles are fully usable for muscle repair and maintenance in most healthy adults. But here is what they definitely do not advertise. You can modify the order to optimize the macro profile. Remove the ketchup and bun, and you reduce simple carbohydrates. Order the patties and cheese only, and you preserve nearly all the protein while cutting calories. McDonald's allows customization. The protein remains. The cost barely changes. The bun contributes about 28 grams of carbohydrates per sandwich. The beef provides the protein. If you are optimizing for protein density per calorie, removing the bun increases that ratio significantly. Yet no menu board highlights this, because the system sells meals, not macronutrient engineering. Let us widen the lens. In 2023, the International Food Information Council reported that 52% of Americans are actively trying to increase their protein intake. Protein has become the dominant macronutrient trend. Yogurts are fortified. Cereals are rebranded. Snack bars advertise 15 grams in bold letters. But one of the highest protein per dollar mainstream options has been sitting unchanged for decades. The McDouble was introduced nationally in 1997 as a value menu item. It has survived multiple pricing restructures, inflation cycles, and menu overhauls. While the dollar menu officially shifted to tiered pricing in 2013 due to rising beef costs, the McDouble has consistently remained near the bottom of the price ladder. It was never positioned as a fitness product, but nutritionally, it qualifies as one. Now let us address the obvious counterargument. Yes, fast food consumption is associated with higher overall calorie intake and poorer diet quality when consumed frequently. Numerous epidemiological studies, including a 2015 review in the journal Public Health Nutrition, have linked high fast food intake with increased risk of obesity and cardiometabolic disease. That is pattern-based consumption. This research is not arguing that you should build your entire diet around burgers. It is examining cost to protein efficiency. And in that narrow metric, the McDouble performs unusually well. Consider another chain for comparison. A single crunchy taco from Taco Bell contains 8 grams of protein. A bean burrito contains about 13 grams. To reach 40 grams, you would need multiple items, often exceeding $5 total depending on pricing. A Whopper from Burger King contains approximately 28 grams of protein, but typically costs significantly more than a McDouble. Two McDoubles outperform both on cost per gram in many markets. This is in no way an endorsement, it is simple arithmetic. Now zoom out further. Globally, protein deficiency remains an issue in certain regions. The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations continues to monitor protein energy malnutrition in vulnerable populations. In high-income countries, deficiency is less common, but protein inadequacy still occurs in elderly populations due to appetite decline and fixed incomes. When budgets tighten, protein is often the first macronutrient sacrificed because it is typically the most expensive per calorie. The McDouble disrupts that pattern by accident. It was engineered for speed and affordability. The protein density is incidental, but incidental does not mean irrelevant. If you are traveling, broke, between paychecks, or simply need to hit a daily target without cooking, 44 grams for under $4 is measurable, real, and documented. Now let us clarify something important. Price varies by region. In major metropolitan areas like New York City or San Francisco, menu prices are significantly higher than national averages. In smaller markets across the Midwest and South, promotional pricing can drop below $2 per McDouble. Always verify local pricing. The protein number, however, does not change. 22 grams per sandwich, published, consistent, audited. And that leads to the uncomfortable observation. You are surrounded by protein, it just is not marketed that way. Because the fitness industry profits from complexity, supplements, plans, premium products. And the fast food industry profits from indulgence messaging. But neither has incentive to tell you that a $2 sandwich competes with a $4 protein bar. The McDouble does not need a rebrand. It already works. The real question is how you use that information. If you are strategic, you can treat fast food as a macronutrient tool rather than a default meal. You can balance the sodium by adjusting the rest of your day. You can prioritize hydration. You can treat it as a calculated input rather than a habit. Information changes behavior, and once you see the numbers, you cannot unsee them. 44 grams of complete bioavailable protein, under $4 in many markets, under $2 per unit in some. Available in thousands of locations. No prep time, no dishes. It is not glamorous, it is not organic, it is not marketed to you as optimal, but the math is public, and the math does not lie. The next time someone tells you that eating enough protein requires expensive powders, premium meal plans, or boutique grocery stores, remember this: the most efficient protein per dollar option in your city might be glowing under a heat lamp right now, wrapped in paper, waiting for someone who knows how to read a nutrition label instead of a marketing slogan.